What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. Hey, y'all, I'm jumping right into this one. How panicked should we be about NBA teams right now? Now, I'm usually the one on YouTube that's like, hey, everybody relax. It's early in the season. Everything regresses back to the mean. Give it time. Don't overreact. Don't change a bunch of things. But we got some crazy stuff going on right now. The Bucks are 2-8. The Sixers are 2-7. Anybody in the West I should be concerned about? Yeah, the Pelicans are 3-7. The Mavericks are 500. Where are the Knicks? The Knicks don't have a winning record to start the year. It's just, I don't know. There's weird stuff going on right now. The whole East just doesn't look good right now. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at a panic meter that Bleacher Report put together for us to see just how worried we should be about certain teams. So shout out Greg Schwartz, man. A panic meter for the struggling NBA contenders. The Knicks, Sixers, Bucks. Yeah, I don't know who else is included in this. I never read these things beforehand, but I'm always curious to see what they say at the end of the day. If we had to just take a look at the teams, right? I mean, you could point out anybody in the East. I mean, you could even say, like, look, the Hawks are just in a horrible spot right now, but I mean, I'm not sure what kind of expectations they had coming in anyway, but the Bucks are definitely one. The Sixers are definitely one. Like, the Raptors are underperforming, but again, they weren't contenders. The Knicks are a little behind where you would think they'd be. Probably same with the Magic, but they've been injured, so like I don't know how much I'm tripping about that necessarily. If I were to look at the West, like, man, the West is good. Why is the 10 seed even a winning record? And the Mavericks are 500 and not even in the play-in right now. So it's probably just the Pelicans, right? I mean, maybe a little bit the Spurs just because of how Wemby's kind of been playing. And we're not blaming Wemby for that. We're not blaming him. I mean, he could not take the shots that he's taking, but it's coaching at the end of the day. You need a little bit better coaching, and we hope Popovich is okay. But anyway, first team, the Milwaukee Bucks, extremely high panic level. Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm kind of with you guys here. This is bad. Look, I'm normally the one that's calm, cool, collected about this stuff. I went into this season saying, I think the Bucks are going to be just fine. Doc really doesn't have to do very much to keep this team on the straight and narrow. He's usually pretty good about getting people at least all like focused on one direction with a team. Like, he's a pretty good leader, even if the X's and O's don't always all come together. And so now I'm looking at this team, and it's been ugly. It's been very, very ugly to start. I mean, let's talk about Giannis and Dame, right? They're the two ones featured here. They've been fine. Like, Dame's had games that aren't stellar, but I'm not tripping about it. Dame's been pretty good for most of the season. Giannis has been awesome. The defense isn't good. The offense isn't good. It looks all over the place. Like, the rotations that they're throwing out aren't working. They're not really making sense. I mean, we could go take a look at the team stats. Yeah, let's take a look at this, y'all. It's Giannis, Dame, and then you got me after that right now. Obviously, Chris Middleton's out. That's a whole thing that's been a problem for them, but Bobby Portis is your third leading scorer at 12. Not looking the greatest. I mean, he's not hitting his three-point shots right now. Neither is Splash Mountain Brook Lopez. He's only getting you 9 points a game. The drop coverage has not been working like it used to for this team. That's a big concern. AJ Green probably should get more minutes because guys like Pat Connaughton just I don't know. It's time to cut ties with Pat Connaughton, man. I know you can't just like cut him. You got to trade him or something else, but it's not working for Mr. Connaughton. He's got to come out of the game. At least AJ Green is going to hit the shot. Bold season totals indicate player-led league. Oh, so he's the best three-point shooter in basketball right now, 60%. I mean, I would tend to agree that that's probably true. So yeah, no, AJ Green should be on the court more. I feel like Taurean Prince hasn't been like bad by any means. He just hasn't been good either. Gary Trent has just been kind of bleh. Andre Jackson Jr. should get more minutes. I know they're starting him now. I don't know why Doc doesn't like him very much. He just, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to. Don't play any of the young guys right now. Tyler Smith isn't ready. DeLon Wright's been rough. Beauchamp probably not going to be on the roster past this season. Stanley Umude's on this team. Shout out him. AJ Johnson, that draft pick pissed me off at the time. AJ Johnson might end up becoming a good NBA player, but I think we all understand that he's 2-3 years away from us having any clue as to if he's going to be. Just that pick just didn't need to happen. You're winning now. You didn't need to go get a guy like this. You could have gone after a guy like a Ryan Dunn or something like that to help with your defense, or at the time a Deron Holmes or something like that. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to do that. Now you have a guy that's averaging 0.7 points. Your first round pick can't even get on the court. Your second round pick's getting more minutes. Tyler Smith should have been the first round pick. That would have made more sense to me, but I don't know. The Bucks, I'm totally in agreement. Like, this team's in trouble, man. This team's in trouble. I don't know what you do necessarily either. Like, I'm not saying you got to go and like trade a bunch of people, and you can't really fire Doc from a business standpoint. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with this team. I don't know. This franchise ranks in the bottom half of the league in both offense and defense. Antetokounmpo's apparently given up on shooting threes. Yeah, I guess we'll just never see that out of him. Again, he doesn't necessarily need to, and there's not enough young talent to believe this situation is going to get better. That's what I'm saying. Like, you literally, when I'm saying you can't play the younger guys, it's because they're not good. Like, and I always like hold off a little bit, right? Let's hold off for just a second before I go and say something I don't want to say. Young players can always get better, right? They can always get better. Beauchamp, we've been waiting on for a little bit. Don't think it's going to happen. Tyler Smith's not ready. AJ Johnson's not ready. I mean, Rollins, you don't throw Rollins in the game. AJ Green, do we consider him a young guy? He can be on the court, I guess. I like Andre Jackson Jr. I do like him. At least he's hustling and playing good defense. So hopefully he can start hitting some shots. He wasn't bad shooting last season. He gets out and runs in transition. So I don't know. Could they still make the playoffs and stuff? Yeah. Middleton comes back, maybe helps a lot. Yeah, but I'd be worried about this team, man. It doesn't look good right now. The New Orleans Pelicans, medium panic. Yeah, the Pelicans apparently every single season are going to just attempt to be the most injured team in the NBA. I mean, how many guys are injured at this point? Zion Williamson, DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy have all missed more than 34 combined games through New Orleans' first 10 contests. That's rough. Brandon Ingram, yeah, he's kind of the lone survivor at this point. It's not good. The center situation was a big issue at the start of the year. Like, they have Tice, he's not a starting NBA center, and they got Yves Missy, who is getting better. He's starting now. Like, I see him long term as being a Clint Capella type player. I don't think he's ready to be a starting center right now, and I mean, clearly just looking at the numbers, he's not. But this team's a little bit rough. Obviously, Zion going down is just extremely unfortunate, right? I mean, he was again having a good season for the most part. It wasn't the most efficient, but he's still Zion, right? So I don't know, man. He's always getting hurt, and I'm starting to lose a little bit of the glimmer, man. Like, I saw so much potential and stuff, and I'm not saying he's just like a bad player by any means. He's a really, really good basketball player. I don't know what you do, and it seems like such a health thing for this team. I don't know what they're doing down there in New Orleans. I don't know why none of these guys can stay healthy. I don't want to hear anybody tell me Brandon Boston Jr. is the answer. I refuse to believe. But again, guys like Yves Missy, I don't know. Javonte Green, I think, should probably get even more minutes than he's getting at 21 a game. At least he's going to be out there and like hustling and stuff like that. He's hitting the threes when they're open. I want to see this guy Carlo get on the court, the big man, the young big man, because he was really good in the G League this last year, and he kind of had more of an all-around game, could step out and hit some shots, was a good passer and stuff, maybe gets the offense going a little bit. So I don't know. I'd like to see it, but you look at this team, and I don't know what you do. Do you trade Brandon Ingram now out of necessity? Are we re-signing him? I don't know what the plan is for this group, and that's where I struggle. Medium panic is probably fair because you have a lot of options at the very least. Like the Bucks, I don't know what the Bucks do, like trade-wise or anything. They have all the most valuable trade assets in the NBA. It feels like they've got draft picks, they've got valuable players at valuable positions and stuff. It's just they can't get them on the basketball court together. So I don't really know what you do about that. I could draw up some moves and everything, but I'm sure you guys have all done that already yourselves. And they're 3-7 early. Like, there's time to come back. But I mean, look at the standings, y'all. There's some good basketball teams ahead of them. Like, the Mavericks are not an easy game. The Kings are not. The Rockets are not. Like, you guys can understand. Like, these are really good basketball teams. How are the Warriors number one? What's going on? Also, they've just given up on playing like the young guys in Moody and Kuminga. It feels like Moody was only getting like 8 minutes in like the last couple games, and Kuminga's getting less and less. I mean, he's still going to get some buckets just cuz, but man, what a waste of young talent that team has done. But hey, they're winning basketball games right now, right? Wiggins hasn't been bad or whatever. But anyway, we're talking about teams we're worried about, not teams that are overachieving somehow. But yeah, no, it's just injuries, man. I don't know. I don't really know what you do with them. The New York Knicks, low panic. Yep, that was the other one that we brought up. If we go over here to the Knicks are 4-5 right now to start this season, but I'm not like tripping about it. Cat has been really good for them so far. Adding Karl-Anthony Towns, Bridges to a core, Jalen Brunson, other massive amounts of collection should be patient with. Yep, totally agree. They've played in some good games and stuff like that. New York's defense improved with Hartenstein on the floor. Now with Towns, the Knicks defense is giving up a whopping, wow. Yeah, that's, wow, 14.2 more points. That's pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. Look, Cat's not a good defensive center, right? And anybody that's going to go in the comments and be like, yeah, Cat can't play defensive center. We know. All of us know that. Like, the Knicks didn't go and get him and say, like, oh, yeah, no, like, and he can play center and play defense. So it's like they're hoping Mitchell Robinson comes back, right? And then they can throw Cat somewhere else or something, move Josh Hart back to the bench or something like that. Cat, pretty solid, like, defensively at the 4. Like, I'm not going to say he's great, but at least he was, like, impactful at times there. Defensive center, no, he's a very, very bad defensive center. We knew that already. That's why they went and got Rudy Gobert in Minnesota, and it worked after a year of them trying to figure out how to do it, but that's no surprise. But if you look at like Cat's numbers in and of itself, I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns has been phenomenal to start this season. Okay, let's go to Karl-Anthony Towns here. Karl-Anthony Towns so far this season, 25 points, 12 rebounds. He's shooting 53%, almost 54 from 3. That's really, really good for those of you that aren't aware of like basic statistics. But no, Cat's been good for them. I'm not tripping about it. Brunson's been good for them and stuff. All their players are going to die. Like, and what do I mean by that? They're wearing these dudes out. They're playing 6 people. It's mostly just the first 5, and then Miles McBride comes and plays off the bench a little bit. Jericho Sims gets in a little bit. I can't remember who the other person is. Somebody else is getting like a couple minutes for them, like here or there, but it's not much, man. Like, Thibs is going back to his old Chicago Bulls days where he's just like, nope, like these are the guys that get to play each and every night. This is what we're doing for them, and that's just how it's going to go. Is it Cameron Payne? Is that who it's been? I think it's been Kolek a little bit more recently. Matt Ryan, yeah, he got in the other day. Matt Ryan's a good pickup for them, but I mean, they had to throw Huck Porty in there for a little bit. Like, Daddy A's played a little bit, which I was surprised to see, but yeah, it's pretty much just the first 5, Deuce McBride, and then some other like guy that they throw in with Jericho Sims. Like, and I'm talking like 4 minutes that they get to be on the court just so like Cat can sit for a couple. But you look at these minutes, 36, almost 37, 38, 36, 34, 35 for Brunson. And then, yeah, like Jericho Sims is just taking up all the minutes that Cat's not on the court. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like tripping about it. This team should get better. I don't really know what they do to kind of address the depth issue and stuff. I mean, that's part of why you went and traded for really good players, right? But at some point, you're going to wear them down. You just are. 82 games is a long season. It's a long season. You're not really winning with the 5 you have now. It'll take some time. And again, Mitch Robb coming back will help a little bit, but got to find some sort of answer, man. Got to find some sort of answer. And it hasn't been the easiest schedule to start the season either. So, yeah, that's part of it. Next up, the Orlando Magic, who are currently a 4 seed technically, but they're 5 and 6. They're not like looking good. I mean, if the rest of the East just can't figure it out, I guess it doesn't matter. But you look at this team and they've got some problems, right? Last year, the Orlando Magic were an elite defensive team who struggled with playmaking and making threes. This season is the same. It's the exact same. And that's what I was saying during the offseason with this team. Like, the Kentavious Caldwell-Pope move or whatever, like, fine is what I said, but I'm like, I don't think KCP is going to be like all that great on this roster. He's the type of guy that thrives when other guys get like a ton of attention because he's smart and he knows where to go be the most effective. But the Orlando Magic have like 0.5, maybe 0.75 shot creators on their team. What is a shot creator? Let's talk about it. Somebody that you can give the ball to that can like get to the rack whenever they want. They've got an array of moves that they can use to get separation, to get shots up. They go get buckets and stuff. Banchero was starting to become that. He didn't always do it in the most efficient way possible. I mean, just looking at his numbers, right? It's, again, not the most efficient, but he was starting to become more of a shot creator. I can't argue with 29 points per game. Even some of it, though, he's creating without the basketball. Franz, still not really a shot creator. Like, he's not creating a good amount of things. Sometimes he attacks guys off the catch and stuff like that, and he's able to get his big body on them, and that's cool. But ISO-wise, like, he's not doing anything for you. Suggs, still not seeing it out of the guy. And then, honestly, like, so Paulo is my 0.5 of a shot creator. The next best one on the team is, where is he? Cole Anthony, probably, because he can at least go get himself a shot. But I mean, he's lost his minutes to Anthony Black, and deservedly so. Anthony Black looks like a solid NBA player that you could turn into something. But this team has no shot creators. It has no shot creators. You need someone to go get you some buckets. I can't comprehend how Anthony Simons didn't end up on this team. They need somebody, and probably at the point guard, so Suggs can play the 2, that can go do it. Where's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope on here? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for them this season is averaging 7 points, shooting 21% from 3. Like, this is what I'm saying. He's not effective on that. And it's still nice to have a veteran on the team, right? I mean, that's still valuable. Championship experience, right? Just knows the game well. That's valuable. But on a team like this where you've got spacing issues and things like that, and you've got nobody that can create for themselves, KCP just becomes a part of that, right? And it doesn't work. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning of the year. It doesn't work. You can play all the defense that you want, but if you can't score, you're not going to win basketball games. You need someone that can score, especially come playoff time. I can't tell you how easy it would be to game plan for this team. Like, that, you can hustle and play as good a defense as you want. I will scheme you out of scoring points. I promise you. I promise you I will. And Paolo's obviously not even playing right now. That's a whole thing. It's just, ranking 34th percentile, yeah, an offensive rating, yeah, it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has been a disaster. It's just, it's not good, right? They need playmaking. The roster still needs a playmaking point guard and some additional shooting off the bench. Thank you. It's that simple. You need someone that can create for others. Banchero and Franz will be really good if you go get an offensive like point guard that his job is to just go get buckets. Don't even worry if they can play defense. You just need someone to go get buckets. Everyone else can play defense, right? We've got 4 other elite defenders on the team. Awesome. Gotta go get a scoring point guard. You absolutely have to. Absolutely have to. Oh boy, the Sixers. All right, we're transitioning quickly. This face right here by PG, man. That's it so far. That's it. So obviously PG gets hurt in the preseason, not there for the start of the season. Joel Embiid, yeah, that stuff's happening. We still support Joel Embiid shoving that reporter. Should have punched him. But that's just me at the end of the day. Paul George is back. Tyrese Maxey goes down, right? And Paul George, not been too good to start the season. It's hard to imagine a worse start to the season than the Sixers, a team that's now endured injuries to all 3 of its All-Stars. Yeah, exactly. We have no idea how they play together yet. Joel Embiid hasn't even gotten into a game. He shoved a reporter and everything. Paul George recently made his debut. He's been rough. Maxey's going to be sidelined for a few weeks. I don't know when we're going to see those 3 on the court together. I don't know. Daryl Morey saying, yep, we're going to be smart about it. Great. But like in the meantime, we're 2-7. Maybe they want Cooper Flagg. Maybe that's the strategy at the end of the day. I don't know what they need to like keep their pick or whatever, but gotta go get Cooper Flagg apparently. Let's go take a look at the 76ers numbers. I know Maxey hasn't been very efficient at all this season. Paul George, I mean, a couple games start the season, very small sample size, but it hasn't been that great. So like, what can we identify about this team? Maxey, bad efficiency, right? But getting buckets because somebody needs to. Kelly Oubre, bad so far, right? Because there's no one else in the team. Oh my God, Paul George, 16%. Oh, Lord have mercy on me. Caleb Martin not hitting his shots. Yabusele, though. Yabu's been solid, right? I feel like whenever I go and I read the box scores every night and stuff, and I'm like, okay, what kind of happened? I always see Yabusele with like a solid game, and I'm like, okay. Jared McCain just had his first like good game, but he's still not contributing at like that level right now. He's a rookie, right? Big Dre does what he does. Kyle Lowry past his prime, but not bad. Maybe KJ Martin should play a little bit more just because he can get up and down the court. With like Reggie Jackson, you can't even get him on the court, and so it's like, Eric Gordon, he's not much at this point. It's I don't know. Obviously, getting the star players on the court, that's going to help a lot, right? Because, like, in theory, you should have some solid role players here. Like, I like Yabu, I like Kelly Oubre, right? I like Drummond. Lowry should be able to help a little bit, right? Maybe McCain can help a little bit further down the line, but man, you got to get the 3 back in the court, and how do you do that? I don't know. Like, it's gonna be a quarter of the way through the season before maybe we see all of them on the court together if nothing happens, and then it's okay. Let's figure out how to play these guys together, right? We still have the issue of how does Joel Embiid play come postseason time, right? Like, it's so easy to game plan for him because like his game is relatively simple. He's just really physically dominant, right? How does Paul George play off of that? What does Maxey do? Like, who's kind of the go-to scorer with things? There's a lot to figure out. And Paul George is pretty good at blending in with all that stuff, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd be worried about this team right now. Just for anything else, I don't know when you're going to get your guys back on the court, and that's a concern in it of itself. So I don't know, man. I don't know. The Sixers, it's rough. Is there any other team that we're like really tripping about? Me as a Bulls fan, I'm just kind of like sad right now. Shout out the Nets, man. I kind of had a feeling they wouldn't. Do I think they're going to maintain the spot? Probably not, but not surprised to see that they're kind of scrapping with people early. They got a lot of solid players that they should be trading any day now, any moment now, I would hope. I can't stand to watch Wizards basketball. They're starting all 3 of the rookies at this point. Obviously, the Suns losing KD is going to be tough. We'll see how they respond with things. Nuggets have had some injuries. I heard some sort of rumbling that Lonnie Walker has been on their radar. I can't believe Lonnie Walker hasn't been on their radar yet. Seems kind of weird. Him and Strother might be redundant, but is what it is. Clippers have been solid. Timberwolves, the duo looks good, like number wise, of Randall Ant. By the way, shout out Ant and all of his 3-point shooting. But come postseason time, I'm still very worried about this team. I feel like the Julius Randle effect is going to be like really obvious at that point. But I don't know. Kings fight everybody, man. DeMar DeRozan and Fox have been awesome to watch. But yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know. What teams are you worried about? Who are you panicking for? Who are you a fan of? And you're just already hitting the panic button and you're worried and you want to blow the whole thing up. As a Bulls fan, I've been trying to blow that up for a while. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment on my YouTube channel, and I intend to keep on doing so. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.